Here's what's next on the Nice Guys on Business.
And so we were always layering, like a performance sock underneath a dress sock. And we were like, why can't we just mash these two things together and make a more comfortable sock? And that kind of initial idea is really kind of the core of the business now. We're really building in comfort and performance into all of our products.
The Nice Guys on Business are putting the band back together. They're on a mission from God. Go from where you are now to where you could be. Get expert tips to grow your business, to be more productive and more efficient, whether you're trying to build influence, grow your community, or make it rain. Best-selling author of Nice Guys Finish First, Doug Sandler, can lead the way. The Nice Guys on Business is produced by TurnKey Podcast Productions. Now, here's your host, Doug Sandler.
Pair of Thieves started out as the little sock company that could. Now, today, with expected revenue approaching $100 million, three partners have been true to their roots, bringing unique style, affordability, and incredibly awesome products to market. All this and huge hearts and community support, donating millions of pairs of socks to those in need. Founders are here today, Alan Stuart, Cash Warren, and David Ehrenberg. Welcome to the Nice Guys on Business podcast.
Thanks for having us on.
I'm excited to have you here. So Cash, right out of the box, I could see that you're going to be the outspoken one. You just volunteered to be the first one to go.
I guess sometimes it's like that. But in meetings and in real life, I think these two do more of the talking than me. But here we are.
Right out of the gate, I have a question. The company name is Pair of Thieves, yet there's three of you. How did that? We tried to figure that out. We said, you know what, we'll get these guys on the show. They'll explain it. So maybe just share a little bit about how the name of the company got started.
So, like the old ad, like one of your socks always goes missing. It's like, who steals that sock? And so we were like, it's a pair of thieves. And so we started out as a sock brand. And so the name was built off of that. The three thieves just didn't have the same ring to it.
No, it's a band of thieves or something like. I wasn't really sure how to put it together. The person that booked it, Paulette. Thank you, by the way, for sharing with us the goodie box of stuff that you sent over. Sent us a full goodie box of stuff. I mean, socks, boxers, super soft lounge pants, t-shirts. And Strick and I, before we got it, we're like, let's see if we can get a lot of stuff from these guys because we already know their brand. We actually don't need it because we love the brand already. We came to the table already knowing your brand. And Strick, what was your favorite? What
Doug told me a couple of weeks ago, he's like, hey, I got a new possible sponsor. They're going to send us a swag bag and we're getting stuff in the mail. I'm like, who is it? He says, Pair of Thieves. I'm like, dude, I own like 10 pairs of their boxers already. I had no idea. So I was already very familiar and really like it. And I'd always bought the regular boxers, but hang on, what do we have now? I've got the Super Fit Mesh Magic. These are the shit. They are freaking amazing.
Well, it's got like a hammock built right into it. And I feel like, Strick, you're a lot larger than I am when it comes to the hammock thing, I
wasn't going to say it, but that's why I like that. And you are not so much. I get it. Yeah.
It's like I'm knocking into the walls. It's like, so some of the products are like, this is really good stuff. I mean, I loved it. And then I went to your website. Sorry, I know I'm like all over the place already. I just get very excited when I have people.
No, we're here. We're here for it. We're riding along.
So what's really cool about it. So then I go to your website thinking, well, I'm going to go to their site because I want to see some other stuff. I've already got like probably $200 and stuff that they sent me, which was really cool. But then I'm thinking, I want to get some more stuff, but what am I going to get? Like 2 or 3 more pieces or something like that. I go to your website. The freaking prices are ridiculously low. I don't know that you guys know this, but you are well below market price on so many of the things. And so many things are actually still on sale below that. David, what's going on?
It is one of the things that we take a lot of pride in, making products that are affordable. I think when we started this business back in 2012, 2013, we recognized that there was a lot of innovation and a lot of excitement in the high end. And kind of, if you were willing to spend $30 for a pair of underwear, you had your slew of offerings. But if you were like me, more reasonably, like you just didn't want to splurge, you didn't want to spend a ton of dough, you were kind of stuck with kind of how much cheap shit can I put in a plastic bag? And that's what a lot of stores were offering. And so for us, we were trying to bring excitement, innovation, fashion, and kind of all of the bells and whistles that you'd get at a premium, in a premium product, but at an affordable price. One of our slogans is only the best, but only for everybody. And we really do take that to heart. So we're a very inclusive brand, from size inclusivity to the causes we support. And that's something that's just near and dear to our heart.
That's exactly how I stumbled on it too. I was in Target, and it's like, I need some new boxers, and I'm tired of the kind of, and I saw cool design and it looked comfortable and they were reasonably priced. And I'm like, I bought a 3-pack and I'm like, these are great. And I went back and bought 2 or 3 more 3-packs. And now here you are, and you may be sponsors. I mean, you guys it's great stuff.
Yeah, we'll glad. I mean, if you guys will do this for all of your episodes, we'll sign up for a full-time sponsor. We don't even have to be here anymore.
Oh my God! Well, we would do that. Not that I hate to take any money out of Strickland's pocket. We're still going to promote your shit, even if you don't become a sponsor of our show, because we truly believe. I mean, we have some products that we represent that we really love the products. We just don't allow a sponsor just because they can write a check. We love the products. I was in Walmart recently, and this was before I became a real huge fan of Pair of Thieves. And I'm a Hanes guy. That was before Pair of Thieves. I was Hanes, I go in there and I'm looking, and I'm say it again.
I'm sorry.
Right. Well, now I am too. So I'm looking at like 3 to 6 pairs of Hanes socks, and it's still $20. And it's like, I'm looking online at your socks, and your socks are actually at or below the same thing that I was paying for the Hanes, and they have a nice structure to them, and they're really fashionable, and they're designed well. And then I got the little bandit mask on the back of them too.
Yes.
I couldn't figure that out. I'm like, wait a minute, Pair of Thieves, why is there a bee on the back of their socks? It's not a bee. It's actually a bandit mask. Isn't that what that is?
That's exactly it.
Yeah,
it is.
I didn't get that.
But you've nailed it. I think when we first launched, we started out as a sock brand, and at the very first product we developed, it was a mashup. And so at the time, men's dress socks, so what you would wear to work, they were all these really thin nylon socks that, your foot was always sliding around in your shoe. And so we found ourselves always layering like a Nike dry fit running sock underneath. Look at that. He's holding up his foot, showing off the goods. I love it. And so we were always layering, like a performance sock underneath a dress sock. And we were like, why can't we just mash these two things together and make a more comfortable sock? And that kind of initial idea is really kind of the core of the business now. We're really building in comfort and performance into all of our products.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So one of the things that they say is that success is never a straight line. So I know, Cash, I know you're probably the talker among the three. Just shut up for a second. Give these guys a chance to say a word. Jeez, is it always this way, David and Alan? Is this how it is in all the meetings too? Cash just completely takes over? They won't even say anything.
We love him for it. Like when he allows us to talk, which is often, then we get nervous. Now the pressure's on.
No worries. Cash, feel free to add to this. I just wanted them to feel included in the interview as well. So as I said, they say success is never a straight line. So can you maybe share some of the things with our community that were the curves along the way, some of the things, the twists and turns in your journey that you just either didn't expect or you expected, but it's like, wow, this has really been a big challenge for us as business builders.
Yeah, I mean, I can start and David jump in. I mean, we've certainly had our missteps like any other company. We've tried stuff that hasn't gone so well. We like to learn from it, hopefully. If not, then we're not doing a great job. But I mean, we launched a high-end line called Thieves Gold, which we loved. We wore it, but the consumer wasn't looking for that from us, right? We wanted to, and that made us go back to the Spirit line that Cash was talking about. Was this only the best, but only for everybody? This collection ended up being somewhat exclusive in terms of pricing, and so figuring out our core and then coming back to that and saying, oh, actually, even if you're at a higher end department store like Nordstrom at the time, the market's changed and people are willing to shop any price point wherever it's convenient for them. And so that's something we've leaned into and tried to stay the course, is this idea of omni-channel and being available wherever the consumer shops and not worrying so much about, where I bought this.
What was like one of your, Strickland mentioned that you're in Target. I wasn't even aware of that. I think I've just have seen you online. What was like your biggest win, and what did that payday like feel like when you said, "Oh my God, we're in Target now. This is crazy." Was Target the one?
Target was our first retailer, so we got super lucky there. And we wouldn't be a company if we didn't partner with Target, or at least it would have been a lot harder. So they've been incredible, and they're not paying me to say this, but from a bootstrapped company to really build it into, this was our side hustle, and this became our main hustle very quickly. We attribute a lot of that success to the trust that Target put in us.
How long
David,
you guys has the company been around? When were you guys founded?
David, why don't you take this one?
Yeah.
I apologize. My Wi-Fi connection was unstable, and so I am now speaking out of our utility closet.
You sound good
And it
though.
looks great.
I hope you guys can hear me okay.
Yeah, totally
Yes.
fine. It actually sounds really good, David. Good move.
Why would the Wi-Fi work in the conference room, right?
You MacGyvered that really well, David.
Exactly. So I heard bits and pieces of what you were talking about earlier. One thing I will add to the last question, or the last kind of theme about Target, even though we're not supposed to be talking about it, is that we were awarded Target's Vendor of the Year for 2022. Whoa. So we just received that honor last month. No, not even a month ago, a few weeks ago.
Wow.
And so it was super humbling. They award vendors of the year for each of their categories. And so we were their apparel vendor of the year, which is pretty rad. So just thinking about, what we've accomplished over the last 10 years, small bootstrap company, started from real humble beginnings to then become, vendor of the year within one of the second largest, I guess, hyper market in the United States. It's pretty rad and also pretty humbling.
When did you guys know that you had it right? There had to be some turning point. What is Malcolm Gladwell call it? He calls it the tipping point.
The tipping point.
At what point did you realize, damn, we've got this dialed in? I mean, Strick and I have been doing this for 8 years. We're still waiting for that moment. It will never come. Maybe it'll come at episode 2000, Strickland. I have no idea. Maybe. But when did you guys know it came for you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, at least, this is Alan, right? Some days it still doesn't feel like we're doing it right. Quite honestly, it feels like we're on this precipice of doing it right, maybe. But the turning point for me was really like when we were flying and sitting next to somebody on the airplane, and they tell them what we do, and they were like, "No way, I'm wearing that." Like those moments where people show you their underwear or socks, that to me was the best feeling in the world. Still is.
That's pretty cool.
Was there a point when you thought this will never work at any point?
Like one of the things that I often talk about is I'd rather have like a mediocre idea with great timing than a great idea with bad timing. and this, by no means am I calling our business like a mediocre concept, but we're not curing cancer. We're not, sending rockets into space. We are building what we hope to be like the next legacy basics brand. And because of the timing where we happened to pitch Target, we each invested around $1,500 to start this business, and that's the only capital we've put into the company to date, right? Amazing. And so, we're sitting before a buyer at the second largest retailer in America, who they seemingly have every single thing you could possibly want on their shelves, and we're pitching them this idea that we have to start this business. And the buyer looks at David and says, "This is exactly what I've been mandated to go find. How about I give you a test run in 270 stores?" And then we were off and running, right? And so that the timing of that, you couldn't pay to have that kind of timing. And we jumped on it. We seized that opportunity. And the real turning point for me, we call them sightings in the wild. I love what Alan described as well. It's like something that really makes us happy. But the real tipping point or turning point for me was when we expanded from just offering socks and we expanded out to underwear. There's a loyalty factor with underwear that's just different than socks. Like I can open most dudes' sock drawer and they're going to have a ton of different brands in there. It's kind of an impulse purchase. But I open your underwear drawer, there's a great chance you're going to have one brand of underwear in there.
Yep.
And so succeeding in underwear was kind of the moment where we all looked at each other and we were like, we got a real chance here. We've got a real shot at building something.
Ash, I'm not going to let you open my underwear drawer, but I appreciate the offer. And there are a number of things that I take away from that. First of all, you guys have been around for 10 years and you're doing $100 million gross. That's ridiculous. And you guys look like you're younger than us. You make us feel like complete failures, but that's okay.
And we are.
And the other thing that I really love about what you guys are doing is it's not just about the product. Oh, the second thing, it's amazing that in manufacturing, you guys each put $1,500 in and you never had to get like VC funding or anything like that. I mean,
I love it.
What we do with podcast production, it's all service, no big deal. But in manufacturing, you're creating a product and it's something that you have to fill 270 Target stores. How on earth did you do that without borrowing money? That's amazing. That is a ridiculous testament to you guys. And the last thing that we haven't even brought up yet is you guys are really philanthropic. Can somebody tell us a little bit about what you do for good for others?
Sure. And so I guess thank you, first of all. And I will credit David, who maybe at some point we should chat a little bit about like the business model and kind of how we were able to fund the business with so little capital up front in manufacturing. But David was really smart from day one on that front and did a couple little unique things that set us up for success. But back to the philanthropic, like we've always been philanthropic in our personal lives. I've always, whether when I was young and in college, whether it was dedicating my time to helping others, and then as I've gotten more resources, being able to put my money where my time is and do it. And so when we were building this brand, it was very much an extension of us, and we wanted it to be a reflection of what things that we cared about. And so it was just natural. We've donated close to 5 million pairs of socks to those in need, and we didn't speak about it for the first couple of years. We've only recently started speaking about it, I should say. And that was because we didn't do it for marketing. We did it because we felt it was just the right thing to do. And we didn't want people, we didn't want to get shit. A lot of companies get shit when they're just trying to do good. And that was something that we just were aware of. We just wanted to do good. And because of it being a reflection of us, in addition to donating product, we have a relationship with an organization called Baby to Baby, which is a fantastic national organization. We also have a Pride initiative with a partnership with the Trevor Project. This year alone, we'll donate over $100,000 to Trevor. And last year we did the same, and the year before that. I think this is our 4th year of working with them. We have a mental health initiative, and we have a partnership with Bring Change to Mind, which is really focused on youth, Gen Z, and mental health, which we know coming out of the pandemic and with social media the way that it is, it's at an all-time high and very important. And so, we talk about our causes and we say they're a reflection of not only the three of us, but everybody that works here. And we're always looking to expand the partnerships in that space. And so stay tuned. We'll be adding more soon.
Strickland, and all I was thinking as Cash was giving that answer was all of the time that we have dedicated all of our causes to, or the cause of working with unwed mothers, just you and me, just you and me specifically. We worked really hard. We're really going one-on-one on most of this.
Getting more dances at the strip club is not considered philanthropic help for unwed mothers. I'm sorry.
Given to the
I know
nursing
you wanted
society.
to frame it like that, but it's just not.
All right. Well, okay. Well, we're working towards it. I'm
going to pitch that to our internal team to see if we can get some support. I'd like to make that our 4th cause.
Probably can. Maybe so. Or maybe it's just a nice guy cause that you'll use as a sub cause through this, or you could just donate to us and we'll use all the singles to go out where we need to go to make it happen.
We do play this little game when we're in meetings, and we set ourselves up for dares, right? Like, I dare you to talk about this beforehand. So we've got a retailer meeting coming up. Cash, I think you could slide by just the unwed mothers portion of our give back.
Well, we always talk about on our show, Nice Guys on Business, the one that we're doing right now. We always talk about on our Friday episodes. We have this other show that we're about to launch. It's called Hookers and Blow. It's actually a sales show, how to hook your clients and blow up your pipeline. It's just a whole different thing. We haven't yet come up with the idea or the funding for it, but we will come up with it at one point.
Yeah.
Sounds like a self-funded
Yeah,
Yes,
totally.
definitely.
That account has been actually at zero for the last several years. So I don't
Seems
know.
like you're going to have a lot of disappointed listeners.
Yeah, I know, right?
All right, what you had a serious question, Strickland. I think it was about the model, and and David was actually going to lead into that a little bit because you really did come up with a great point. Manufacturing $1,500 a piece, $4,500 if my math serves me right, and like, how do you do that and still work a manufacturing style business?
There are industries like service industries where you can do it yourselves. We're the same way. Like, we don't want to take on any extra funding, but it's a service industry. It's easy. Manufacturing, especially when you got to fill Target stores, that's ridiculous. I'm dying to hear how you did that.
And even before David talks about the real, like how he actually did it, Cash and I, before David came aboard, we tried to make some socks. These were the worst fucking socks you've ever seen. Like, these samples were so bad. And you asked like if we ever were going to give up. That was like week 3, and we were going to give up until we brought David in, and he actually knew what he was doing.
It's too serious of a topic. I mean, to go from what we were talking about to this, like, I don't know. Do I really want to answer?
Yeah, we're kind of all over the place, but that's just how we roll.
Well, Paulette at your office is very concerned about you, David. They said your Wi-Fi keeps cutting out. Have you experienced any other cutout other than the beginning part of this? Or are you good now?
No, I'm in the utility closet. I think it's wonderful.
fine.
I think I'm going to permanently relocate my desk and my chair.
You know, Strick came out of the closet years ago, and he has now got an office. So we are well on our way. Everything's.
You know what's funny about the Wi-Fi is, I mean, I'm sitting in the same office as David, and mine is working fine. So I might be calling bullshit on it. I don't know.
What's going?
Touch the wall, and if you guys both put your hands to the wall, are you touching each other's hands?
Yeah.
That's cool. Well, but I really do want to, because there are people that are in our audience right now that probably are in the same, like, I have this great product idea, but do I have to go overseas to do manufacturing? Can I do it here locally? How am I ever going to afford this? I'd love to know just a thumbnail sketch of how something like that works with limited capital.
Yeah, for sure. I think the first thing that was something that I felt strongly about, and the three of us ended up aligning on, was that we didn't need to go out and raise money, and that once upon a time, before institutional means of raising money existed, people had to bootstrap businesses, right? I mean, businesses had to be able to stand on their own 2 feet, right? You had to see a path to profitability or show profitability early on. And so I think with that in mind, it changed the way that at least I looked at having to be able to finance at least the initial production run and then subsequent production runs and maintain a profitable and cash flow business. Specifically, what did we do? A lot of it had to do with credibility and the years of goodwill that I had created with folks that I had known in industry over the years. And so my background is in mass consumer goods, and I've been involved in all things supply chain related for 20 something years, a good 10 years before we started this business. And so folks that I'd worked with could vouch for me and ultimately vouch for what we were going to do here. And specifically, what does that mean? Paying bills, making good on a promise. And that's really important. Ethics, seeing through what you say you're going to do. Ideas are cheap. Execution, follow through, being true to what you're doing, that's really valuable, and that gets you a long way. What did we do ultimately? We were able to leverage payment terms, right? And so we were able to negotiate favorable payment terms with our customers. Accordingly, we were able to negotiate payment terms with our vendors. And so we were able to float the business, so to speak, float the opportunity until there was proof of concept. How were we able to do that? Through the goodwill, through the good name that we had established previous to this business.
That's awesome. So you basically leveraged the deals that you had coming in the door with the vendors that you had that were going to be supplying the services for you, and you just said, hey, I got money coming in the door, and because you had built trust through the years, they trusted you that you would pay them.
Absolutely.
Okay, so totally random question having nothing to do with you guys. How did iHeartRadio get $20 billion in debt. I asked Doug this the other day on the show. I'm like, okay, so when they're 15 billion dollars in debt, and they go back to a bank and they're like, hey, can we borrow another $5 billion? We know this whole radio concept, it's been around for a long time. I'm sure it's really good and we're going to make money eventually. I don't get it. I don't understand it.
I'm not sure, Strickland, if this is the right approach if you're trying to get hooked up with iHeartRadio.
No, we don't care about that.
You know what? If anybody doesn't realize this already that has been listening to our show for any length of time, fuck everybody. We even say fuck Apple.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, look, we took the advice of every podcast production company, because we're in the podcast production business. So we took every podcast production company's advice and we just said, fuck that. We are not going to do it the way that they did it. And we've been able to build I guess this is part of where I'm heading with my question. You know, we have this really great business, but scaling the business, and we've got a system that Strickland has created on the back end that is ridiculous. And I'm sure that you guys very similar. You know, you can make socks in thousands, and you can have an underwear in thousands, and you can have a good revenue stream coming in the door. But how do you get the brain power or the capacity to go from, I have a mid 6-figure idea, but I'm going to make 7 figures, and then I'm going to actually make 9 figures with this and do $100 million. There is something that's a disconnect with most entrepreneurs that want to do everything themselves to get from the mid 6-figure business model to somebody that's doing 7 figures and beyond. What advice could you provide to those people that are out there?
Hey, if I've read correctly, you guys have about 90 different shows that are either leveraging your back end and kind of using, and that you're producing and kind of active on. And so that seems to be a lot of heavy lifting and quite the scale. So kudos to you guys.
Thanks.
On our end, I'll hit on one piece, but I'd love Alan and David to also weigh in. You know, you nailed it. It's the team. You know, it's the realization that you can't do everything yourself, and that you're going to start working with and teaming up with best in class professionals who come with a wealth of experience and know-how. And that's what I think one of the things that we've done pretty well over the last few years. The first 3 years, it was just the three of us. We had no employees, we had no offices, we had no overhead. We were in all 1,800 targets, and we were servicing all 8. We would fly out to Minneapolis, and we had literally a trash bag of samples. We would dump them on the table, and at one point the buyers were like, "You guys your business is too, but you got to stop being this rogue. You're a bit too rogue for the size of your business." And we looked at each other and we were like, "We got to start teaming up. We got to start hiring some teammates." And that is one of the things that allowed us to really start seeing big jumps in scale.
But Cash, who advised you? Because I know you had a buyer that said, guys, you got to stop bringing shit in a trash bag. You got to make this look professional. You got to be more than the three of you. Even if it's only the three of you, please act like you're a bigger company than that. You know, please give me some depth to what your organization has. There's got to be, was there some person or some process or some model that you were following where you could say, Mr. Mentor, please help guide me in this? Was there anybody like that in your life?
But before you say that, I love the vision of you guys walking into a meeting with fucking Target with a bag of socks over your shoulder. It's Santa Claus.
I hope it was
you going, no.
I hope it was a Target bag and not a Walmart bag.
I mean, our meetings we do take a lot of pride in the meetings. Like another example, we work with Nordstrom's, and for 1 year we were going up to pitch them, and we didn't get the samples in time. All we had were these tiny kind of 2-inch by 2-inch fabric swatches. And we were like, oh man, we can't walk in and so we create hand sewn, hand cut underwear for Barbies. And we brought Barbies into our meeting at Nordstrom's, and we set up this full like nativity scene with Barbies on the table, and we able to like land the account, sell them on a new collection because it's like on Barbie dolls.
Improvise.
You gotta improvise.
Wow.
But who advised? Like we have mentors, we have advisors, but the three of us are also. This isn't our first company. The three of us have owned and started businesses in our previous lives, and fortunately, we've made a lot of mistakes along the way. And so we were able to kind of apply some of those learnings when we were building this one. David, Alan, anything to add there?
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking, Doug, of your adage of "fuck everybody," right? To me, it starts off. I'll modify it, right? It starts off with "fuck everybody," and then as you go and grow a little bigger, it's like "fuck some people."
Yeah, we're with you. We're with you. We talk a big game, but we totally hear that. How about you, David?
It's figuring out like who the but you're cool, and then you listen to them, right?
Right.
And David, what's your thought on that?
I like to listen. I joke that, with the three of us, Cash is a type A++ personality. Alan is an A+ personality, and I'm an A personality. And so I guess that means that I talk less. But what I like to do is listen, because you glean a ton from what others say. And hopefully that gives you the inspiration, that gives you the guidance to not make the mistakes that perhaps others have made. I'm oversimplifying the answer, but that, and just met a lot of good people over the years. I mean, I do have folks that I've kind of entrusted to as personal advisors, as professional advisors. And if you approach life with the mindset of just continuous learning, open mind, listen to what people have to say, don't overtalk, then become wiser over the years. And
Strick, as David was giving the answers, he said, I like to listen. I immediately thought of Chauncey Gardner from The Gardeners. Peter Sellers, like, I like to watch, and Shirley MacLaine, the whole story. The other thing I thought is, and again,
but real quick,
go ahead.
David saying you listen. So we're all salesmen as well, right? That's kind of like, even no matter what, you got it. Starting a business, you got to be a salesman. You got to believe in your shit more than anybody else does, totally. And and you got to convince them too. And so one of the running jokes when we were first starting this company, we heard no quite a bit, when we were trying to open up new retail accounts and new doors, or trying to convince a retailer to buy a new program from we heard no, and we would walk out of that room and we would say, I heard a soft yes. What about you guys? And so
so you're saying I got a chance.
Yeah, we're very selective.
I got a chance. I got it.
That's one of our favorite jokes. It's if you were the last man on Earth and I had to sleep with you to repopulate the planet, I would still think twice before doing it. What is the guy here? Oh, so you're saying there's a chance?
So not to, only because we have limited time with them, Strick, and before we wrap up, I just wanted to make sure that you're aware that Cash and Alan and David, I'm going to try to get them on our board of directors. That would be number one, because we have no board of directors right now, and we could use some advisors that have reached the $100 million mark, which I know that they are doing. And the second thing is, I did hear a soft yes very early in the beginning for a lifetime sponsorship of the Nice Guys, long as we continue to wear their shit. So I don't have any of their email addresses, so we're going to have to try to work that into figuring out how do we stay connected to them, because I want that to happen. We went after the Dollar Shave Club because we know, very similar to Pair of Thieves, that it's the right community, it's the right message, and you guys are a little bit laid back and cool, a lot more laid back and cool than we are. But at the same time, it's like, God, I know that there are perfect fit for what we do in our world. So we're gonna figure that out.
We will
as well.
And you both have beards. I think Manscaped or a grooming company might be more appropriate.
I agree.
It's actually funny because I was looking at Alan's beard. I pulled this picture up just until a month ago. My beard looked more like that.
Yeah, very much.
So it's like I got the longer and the white in the middle, and that was.
I mean, you guys could be related.
I know. So the whole vibe, I specifically saved some of the packaging because, David, what you were saying about hearing no, and then Alan, what you were also saying about like some people, fuck them, but then other people, it's like, okay, you're good people. So one of the reasons that I first bought the boxers is I remember I was looking through Target and I liked the design, but I also looked at the packaging, right? And this is just a sample from one of the packaging. They said the perfect shirt was a myth passed from the elders. The legend, however, is very real. The unicorn of a garment is made of incredibly soft fibers, keeping you chafe-free and style-rich. It isn't bulky, boxy, ball gown long, or baby tee tight like the ones over there. Enjoy a fit that is just so right it would surprise Goldilocks.
Good
Try one
copywriter.
and be ready to replace your entire drawer. Because there are people that read this and go, oh my God, if this is comfortable, I am never going to buy Hanes ever again. And I'm that guy. I'm that fucking guy. I'm like, this is a company I can get behind. This is what they are all about. You just put it out there and you're like, you know what? If you don't agree with it, you don't like it, fuck off. I don't care. Because we're going to find people that are our people.
You're talking, but you know, you have to consider the source. This is coming from the same guy that right before this interview, he was probably in an adult bookstore. Just so you know, just so you're aware.
No,
that'll be our next disruption, is trying to get the copy on adult toys to be just a little more magical.
Just a little, just looking a little bit more magical. You're right.
But yeah, I mean, thank you again, right, for calling that out. It always feels good to be reread to oneself. I'm going to use that as a soundbite. But you know, our mission, strictly written, is make magic of the mundane and maximize every moment's potential for delight. At the end of the day, we sell commodities, right? They're boring things. It's socks and underwear. There's no reason why you need to follow on social media your underwear company. But if you can take every moment and try and make it fun, from the sales meetings to walking in with Barbies, to the packaging, or to, you know, hidden little secret discounts in our emails, like we're doing it for those who find it, right? And the others don't really matter, no matter what state you're in.
Perfectly said. Well said. Cash, Alan, David, I appreciate you guys being here so much. Strickland, it's really good to see you on a weekday, other than just the days that with, you know, our fuckery episodes come out.
Right? Doug does most of the interviews, and then he and I do a Friday episode that we just call Friday Fuckery. That's just the two of us shooting the shit and whatever. So this is a lot. I'm pulling the interview day towards the Friday Fuckery feel and vibe. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks,
this
guys.
is awesome. Thank you so much for having us.
So appreciate you being here. Cash, Alan, David, any final words?
No, check us out though. Come check us out, pairoftthieves.com, or find us on any, you know, TikTok or Instagram. You know, we're trying to have fun over here. Would love for your audience to come find us.
It's a great products. Like, I've been here. I got my pants on right now. You see, I got the whole.
Oh, look at that! Look at that!
Lord have mercy, Strickland.
Oh my God,
you're not allowed to have that out.
And now I know why you like the hammock.
You guys are.
Do we have a discount code? What is a good discount code?
No, you don't have to give our people any discount. They're drunk all the time. It's
all right. If
you do decide that you want to have a discount code for us, we'll put it in the show notes. Nice Guy Community. If you don't see a discount code, you know what? It's not discounted because it's already cheap.
Great products.
Don't need a discount. Actually, there is a discount if you go right to the website. I think if this is the first time you've made a purchase on the website, you get a percentage off, and
15% off. I just did it last night. I went and bought more stuff last night. Doug's like, we're interviewing tomorrow. Maybe we're going to be a sponsor, and they're going to give us free shit. I'm like, yeah, but it's so good. I need it now. It's on sale.
Wait.
Come on.
I couldn't wait either.
Yeah. How much of the shit in the background there is just free stuff? Like, do you just interview Lazy Boy and
no,
hang on.
No,
that's Rock and Roll Ernie.
Oh yeah.
That was my kid's Rock and Roll Ernie, and that's just an old mic that I don't use anymore. And then a bunch of shit.
The Mustang is in the garage. I haven't had a chance to get anybody to. I have a sponsor on the show, but the car I had to buy, the TV screens and the lounge furniture, I had to buy all that stuff. Though I had to be legitimate before anybody would actually want to do anything for me. But I appreciate you asking. You could actually sponsor that lounge chair if you want to.
I love that. Now we're talking.
We'll reupholster it in our fabric. It would be lovely.
Oh, that'd be great.
All right, let's head out of here. You guys have any final words? Are you guys good?
This was great. You guys are a blast.
Awesome. Glad you were here. David, thank you for being the soft-spoken when we understand why you are the leader of the organization, behind the scenes.
Solid point.
All right. Thank you.
A Nice Guy Community. Never underestimate the power of nice. Again, special thanks to Cash, Alan, and David. All of their information will be right there in the show notes. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Fill up your week with the Nice Guys. Have fun storming the castle, boys.